guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 214, would you believe? So for those people who don't watch my channel, we are doing reruns. So we did the first 100 weeks, we did then a second 100 weeks, and now we are doing week, the third lot of reruns. So yeah, week 214. And what are we making today? So we are making traditional style envelopes for your junk journals. So we're going to have a step-by-step tutorial of some traditional style envelopes for your junk journals. So what you're going to need if you are going to be mass making along with us this week. So you're going to need a variety of paper. Now I have brought along printables, and I do say this every week. I've brought along printables because that's what I predominantly have these days. You don't have to use printables. You could bring along, book page. You could bring scrapbook paper, plain paper if you want, coffee dyed paper, anything that you like. My papers that I have printed out this week, these are on 120 GSM paper. So this is quite a bit thicker than, very flimsy copy paper. It's definitely not as thick as, like a card. So this is a sort of card type paper. It's not as thick as that, but it's definitely a lot thicker than the, regular copy paper that you get. I would recommend using something thicker than the copy paper because, of course, that's very, very flimsy. I wouldn't, however, recommend using like very, very thick card or anything, just because you may get a bit of bulk, and that might not be kind of what you're liking. But obviously it's up to you, what type of paper that you use. So you're going to need your papers. Again, I would recommend either double-sided, if at all possible, or if you don't like the white, white insides of your envelopes, I would recommend coffee dyeing it. So mine, I've coffee dyed all of these just now quickly prior to the video, or I've got some that are printed double-sided. If you don't have that, or you don't want to do the coffee dyeing and you don't want to have white insides, you could always line your envelopes. And I did do a video recently where we lined a bunch of envelopes with scraps. So, it's not the end of the world if you don't have double-sided paper or you haven't coffee dyed them. You're then going to need your scissors. So that's there. If you don't like using scissors and you prefer to use your scoreboard and your paper trimmer and things, obviously bring that along. Again, I'm not going to be measuring, so I'm going to judge by eye, but if you are somebody who likes to measure, you may prefer to have your ruler, or, your measuring board, however you like to measure. You're then, of course, going to use need your glue. I like to use the Anita's tacky glue whenever I'm using kind of paper. That's my go-to glue. It's just a PVA based glue. You may like to have a bone folder, if you want to score your lines down with the bone folder. Again, up to you. I will probably just use my scissor handles. So, completely up to you how you do that. And then you might want to have things like your distress ink. Now, this is my Distress Oxide. It's walnut stain, and I've just got my blendy tool for just, if you want to ink the edges of your envelope. Now, aside from that, optional extras would be things like a corner rounder. Again, it is an optional extra. You don't have to have that. Obviously, you could use a We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, which I think I possibly did use that on one of these. Maybe I did do on the first time around. I can't remember, I'm afraid. I'm not going to use that because I like to keep these videos, the mass making, as accessible as possible. And not everybody, of course, has an envelope punch board. And, frankly, you don't need it. You can make the envelopes, just with a little bit of tweaking, quite easily anyway. You might want to have something like a dried wet wipe. So this is just regular kind of baby wipes. I just dry them, bunch out, and then you can use that for mopping up any excess glue. You might want to use an old, gift card or something like that just for spreading your glue out. Again, optional extras that you may like to use. We're not going to decorate them all up. I'm just going to mass make them all, and then at the end we'll just decorate one. So again, if you want to decorate them as you go, you might want to have some bits on hand to decorate. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So let's get started straight away. So I will try and remember to tell you what papers that I'm using as we go, if I can remember. So I've got this sheet of paper. Now my sheets of paper, these are A4 size, which is kind of similar to the US letter size. And I have obviously coffee dyed this on the back. This is from my Yellow Roses collection papers. And all I'm going to do is, in the first instance, I'm going to cut my paper down to form a square. So the easiest way to do that is if you take your rectangle, line up your corner here like that, and then just kind of do it down to the bottom. That should give you a pretty good square. Okay, so just then cut up the side like that. I haven't, you know, squished it right down because otherwise you're just going to kind of mark your paper unnecessarily, but just kind of folded it over gently like that, and that's going to give you a pretty good square piece to be able to use. Now then I'm going to take my you know, square, and I'm going to turn it round so it's kind of more diamond shaped, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to fold what will be my bottom flap up first. So what you want to do is preferably line it up more or less with your top point, if that makes sense. So bring it up to where you'd like it to be like that, but lining it up more or less with the top point like that. Squish your bottom down like that, and then you're going to turn it round and you're going to bring your sides in. Now, depending on what sort of size and shape envelope you want, this is going to depend how far in you bring your sides. So obviously they need to come in a certain amount so they can actually glue down. If you bought them in over here, of course they're not going to reach. So you need to bring them in, you know, reasonably well. So I'm just going to bring mine in like that. Obviously I have got my craft mat here, which is one of those lovely Tim Holtz mats that I was gifted very kindly by the lovely Laura. And I've got lots of straight lines on here, so I can kind of, you know, sort of mark it up here on my grid to hopefully ensure that I'm getting it straightish. So down like that, and then I'm going to take the other side in like that to approximately kind of the same point. Now, again, judging by eye. So, you know, I'm not saying that this is going to be absolutely definite, but you can see that more or less my little side pieces are more or less, you know, they're more or less kind of in there. So like that, and then just squish that down. So take my scissor handles, squish them like that, like that. Okay, so that's the basis of your envelope. And then you're going to take what's going to be, you know, your foldy flap and bring that down. So again, you know, if you've got something like a Tim Holtz craft mat or anything, then you can kind of line it up onto your, you know, your straight lines. And then you can bring your flap down just across the top like that. Okay, so hopefully you've got a reasonably straight envelope there, like that. So I'm just going to then squish my pieces all down. You want to squish them reasonably well so that when we unfold it in a minute, and you'll see what we're going to do, you can see where your folds are. So open your envelope back out, and then you've just got these little notches. Now, if you've got the envelope punch board, you can do these notches with that. If you haven't, this is kind of how to do them. So you just cut in like that, and then cut in here. Now, your best bet is to cut in slightly angled here, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because when you fold your envelope up, you can get a bit of an overlap if you're not too, you know, going in a little bit. So just go in kind of a bit further than the folds. So again, like that, and then here, just again sort of over slightly from the fold, and then here like that, and then again just slightly over from the fold on this edge like that. Okay, so that's just lessening the bulk. You don't have to cut your notches in, you can just glue over them, but just to kind of lessen your bulk, you may like to cut in like that. Now obviously this envelope here, it's got just very pointy edges, so at this point you could either use your corner rounder, which would give you a, you know, a small kind of notch, if I just show you like that. And again, your envelope punch board has got things like this. That's still leaving my flap quite tall. So what I might prefer to do is, you know, freehand, just cut that round like that. And obviously, you know, if you aren't very happy with it, you can always kind of trim it down again. So that's then, for me, I think, looking a little bit kind of more like an envelope rather than having quite a tall piece. And then your envelope flap that's coming down, again, you could use your corner rounder, and that will give you quite a long flap. Or you could, you know, of course, trim it down freehand like we did here. And then you're just going to take your glue. Oops, I like to preferably glue. Oh no, this is the first time I've used my glue today, so hopefully we're not going to have problems. But oh my goodness, stranger things have happened. Hold on. Right, so I like to go down here. Oops, on that edge and down here. Now, oh gosh, now look, my glue's oozing out. I also then try and go in here on the sort of outer edge of my envelope flap. Not the foldy flap, but you know, the glued flap. And that way you've just kind of made sure that you've got it everywhere. Now I'm going to mop up some of my glue just because I've now got a really easy glue situation. So let me just go around some of that just so I don't have quite so much seeping out. Again, please ignore this stage unless you do also have a bit of a glue kind of situation going on, but you know, hopefully you haven't. So then just obviously press your flap up and squish that down like that. Now obviously I have coffee dyed my envelope, by the way. Obviously I've coffee dyed the inside so it wasn't that white edge, but I've also coffee dyed the, you know, the outside as well. So yeah, it's got quite a sort of vintagey, squishy feel. I'm going to move my glue there from my hot glue gun because otherwise it's just literally dripping all over the desk. And that's it. You've got quite pointy edges here. So again, you know, if you want to kind of like shape them round or anything, then you can always just go in and sort of just round them off just so they're not looking so squared off. Again, these are all just optional types of stages, but isn't that just such a lovely envelope? And talk about easy to cut, easy to make, easy to cut, easy to make. So like that. Now obviously if you haven't quite managed to glue down right to the edges, you can just go in here. But quite often, you know, when you buy envelopes, they're not necessarily glued right down to the edges, are they? So yeah, that's just a very simple envelope. So let's take another one. So this is from my pale damask, or it may be my rich damask. I'm so sorry, I do apologise. And again, just going to take it over to form my square. So like that. And then I'm just going to cut this up here. Oops. Like that. Like that. Okay. Obviously I'll keep my rectangles that are cut off because I probably can use them somewhere else. So again, just kind of decide which way up you want your envelope. So I'm going to have it like this. And I'm going to just bring this, actually I'm going to have it this way. I'm going to bring this section up. So again, you want it kind of in line with this. Bring it up as far as you know, would like it. Like that, okay. Like that. And then you're going to bring your side flaps in. So one, oops, like that. Okie dokie. And then the other side, just bring in, again, just judging by eye, kind of so they're sort of similar, you know, similar heights up here. They don't have to be perfect, but obviously, you know, just similar. So like that, hopefully, oops, like that. Okay, my glue's absolutely seeping out now all over the desk. I mean, oh dear, never mind. I can just clean that up in a minute. So again, squish this down nicely so you've got, you know, good marks there to cut away. I'm going to just fold this one down for my foldy flap. So, oops, like that. Move it up slightly like that. Okay. I can put it on my scoreboard just to see how straight, or in this case maybe not straight, that this is. It's not too bad, but yeah, perhaps it needs to come out slightly or come in slightly on this edge here. So there we go. Okay, so again, just squish that in with my scissor handles. Oh, I'm going to have to stand my glue up because it's literally dripping around all over the place. So So again, open this up, cut into my notches, one there and one there, like that. Open the other one there and one there, like that. Okay. Now I have seen people make these where they kind of mark the center of the envelope and things like that, and of course you could do that. I personally just think actually the easiest way to do them is line, you know, like we have done here, line this point up with the top point, and it saves you having to kind of either faff around with a ruler trying to find the center of your paper, or, you know, you could like fold your paper in on each corner to find the center. But, you know, I don't think that's necessary. If you do it the way we've done it here, it literally kind of eliminates the need for any of that. So it's just kind of, you know, I think a little bit quicker. So, right, let's decide which way up we want this. I don't think it really matters, to be perfectly honest. So again, I'm going to cut this kind of freehand. Hopefully I haven't made too bad a job of that. Oh, this is where I start making a mess of it. So like that, it looks really cute, doesn't it? And then this is going to come down here. Now, if you've not cut in, you know where I said cut in slightly longer than the folds? Can you see here? When I fold my envelope flap down, it's just catching very slightly on here. So if you have that situation going on, just again, take your scissors and just cut that slightly down. Only because after a while, obviously these are going to get sort of permanently folded down, which, you know, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you're just going to have a bit of creasing going on. That if you just cut them down slightly more, that just eliminates that going on. So again, just glue this down, oops, like that, and then a bit here, and then down there, and up here. Okie dokie. Just squish that down like that. And again, you know, if you haven't quite gone enough up to the edges, this is where you can then just fill in here, going, you know, right up to the edges like that. So one, and then this one here. And then again, up to you really how you finish your flap off, whether you kind of corner round it with the corner rounder, or whether you want to kind of do a slightly round, you know, bigger rounded edge. So I'll do a slightly bigger rounded edge on this one, like that. Okay, and that just tucks down there. So they're really nice, aren't they? Really nice and really, really, really simple. So just, you know, the traditional style of envelopes. Now, just before we go on to the mass making, I'm just going to demonstrate finally if you wanted to make sort of a smaller envelope. So what I'm going to do is to achieve my smaller squares. Now, I'm not saying that this is, you know, this is the only way to do this, but for me, this is going to be a quick and easy way to get a smaller square. So I'm just going to take my paper, my A4 sheet. This is my clocks collection, sorry. Take my smaller sheet. I folded it in half to get a rectangle. So exactly as we did before, we can then get our corners like that, line them up, and then just again, sort of squish that down a little bit, and then we can go in here like this, like that. And again, that's giving you your square. So that's probably sort of a 6x6 or similar size to a 6x6. So again, then we just take our envelope. So decide which way round you want to have your envelope flaps. So I might like to have this section, I think, as maybe the flap coming down. Or do I want this section? Oh, maybe this, maybe, no, maybe that. Yeah, maybe that. So again, going to line this little point up with the top. Take it and fold that up like that. And I mean, obviously it's only a rough guide. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. And then just take my sides in. So one going in like that. And then this side, again, judging by eye, hopefully lining them up, you know, similarly on each side. So, I mean, hopefully that's kind of, yeah, similar. similar. And then just take your bone folder or your scissor handles, squish it in so you've got your little corners to be able to actually really see easily to cut it down. Take your envelope flap and then just again fold it down. Again, just judging by eye, but take it down sort of, you know, however sort of deep you want to have your envelope. So that will do. Oops, I might not have got that very straight. Oh my goodness. No, not getting it very straight at all. So like that. And then again, squish that down nicely either side, just so, you know, we've got those scores to be able to cut around. As you can see, my envelope flap was folded quite a bit, you know, up. So I'm going to have to get rid of that little bit I just creased. Again, we're going over the crease lines, just sort of overlapping them so that we've really gone avoiding the where the paper's going to get creased, you know, that I showed you just now. So take those off. This one here, this one here, like that. Go in on this side and here, like that. And then again, take your envelope flap that's coming up. Again, I'm just going to kind of like by eye round that around. Oops, not made a very good job of it, but anyway, I'm sure that's fine. Take your sides in and then you can obviously fold your flap up. So, I mean, like I say, you can always kind of trim it off afterwards if it's not quite, you know, not quite perfect or not quite how you'd like it. So hopefully that's looking a little bit better. And then again, going to just round my end off like that. Okay, so that's my envelope flap. So again, just take my glue and then just down the edge here and then on the outer edge here, like that, inner edge and then the outer edge. I mean, I always like to do the inner and the outer because that way you've got it really nicely glued down. Again, that's not essential, but that's just kind of how I've, you know, found over the time is the best way to get your pieces, you know, glued down so they're going to last, you know, last the best really. So again, if you haven't quite gone up high enough with your glue, you can just go in at this point and just, you know, add a little bit of extra glue there. So like that and like that. There we go. So exactly the same as the others, but just on a smaller scale. I mean, obviously there's probably numerous other ways to make your squares without measuring, you know, and doing it precisely with a scoreboard, but they're just kind of easy little quick ways that, you know, that I find to make squares. And that obviously then is an easy, quick way to give you different size squares to start your envelope bases. And as you can see, I mean, these were starting with the same size square, but they've come out different size envelopes according to how far up you're folding your initial flap and then how far in you're folding your sides in. So, you know, starting with the same size square, you can still get various size envelopes, but that's just kind of like a little quick and easy way to do it. So we're going to mass make these, and when we do the mass making, we try and kind of assembly line style these. So if you don't watch normally, and what I do is I try and do all of the same stages at the same time. So we'll do all of the, like the cutting the squares the same, all of the folding of the envelopes, all of perhaps the rounding and all of the gluing, all, you know, assembly line styling. So I will try and remember, like I say, to tell you what papers I'm using at what times. And we'll just relax now and have a really nice time, hang out and catch up. So yeah, let's kind of get started. So this is my roses collection papers. So I'm just going to take this in and form the square here. Okay. So what I might do is fold all my pieces and then cut the squares kind of all in the same time. So this is my Paris collection papers. So just literally going to fold a bunch down to form my squares first of all. This is from the Valentine's collection, which I do find myself constantly using. It's such a versatile paper. Or, you know, there's a few in there that are such versatile papers. So I constantly am using those. This is my Rich Damask again. So, yeah, I hope everybody's week has started out well. If you watch my channel, you'll know that I always film these generally on a Monday to go up for you guys on the Tuesday. This again is the yellow roses. So, yeah. So, yeah, my day's only just started out, or my week. My week has only just started out. So, it's Monday morning. Oh, it's a grey, horrible, drab morning out there. This is my clocks collection, and I've backed this onto my Rose Park collection papers. But don't they just complement one another brilliantly? So I haven't decided whether I'm going to have it pink side out or green side out. But yeah, I'm just going to fold it in and get my square going. So yeah, it's such a drab, horrible day. I've probably only got time to do one more if I'm truthful, because it's probably, you know, already quite a bit of time has probably already gone by. So this is again my clocks collection, and it's with my large birdhouse. It's the large birdhouses, and they come with some background pages. So that's what this is here, but it's backed onto the clocks collection. So just going to cut all my squares down. Yeah, it's very, very drab, and it's very windy. It's been raining already this morning. It's pretty cold. It's not very nice. I mean, when you think that we're now the middle of April, it's pretty diabolical. I mean, middle of April, that's you know, quite far into spring, isn't it? Well, we haven't had a great deal of spring weather, to be honest. Little bit. We've had a little bit, sort of glimpses of spring. Not a great deal. So, today definitely does not feel anything like spring. In fact, it's feeling quite wintry. I've got like a really, really thick jumper on and a pretty thick cardigan on. I'm still quite cold. I've even had my fan heater on, and yeah, I only just switched it off before doing the video. So it's not great. Not great at all. But anyway, I'm hoping that eventually spring is going to turn up, but I don't know where it is at the moment. So what have I been up to? Well, what have I been up to? Well, I had a very exciting weekend. So a lovely friend of mine, he has got a racing car. I know, very, very, very exciting. It's like a vintage car. So it's I think it's a 1977 BMW, I think. So yeah, it's, for anyone who knows their cars, it's a 530, you know, vintage kind of BMW. And yeah, it's a racing car. So it's kind of got no seats in it or anything like that, just the driver's seat. And he takes it to events at Goodwood. So Goodwood is the place that's quite local to me. Now I'm just going to take all my bits and fold them into the envelope shapes, and then we're going to snip them down afterwards. So again, lining up my points to the top, and then I'm going to just, you know, fold all my bits in as much as I can, and then we're going to, yeah, snip them down, you know, in assembly line kind of styling, and then glue them all like that. So yeah, we'll just kind of fold our bits in first. So yeah, he does like some of the events at Goodwood, where Goodwood is the place that I rent my house out. You know, in the summer when they have the Goodwood Revival, which I also did the, you know, the video of when I went to the Goodwood Revival a couple of years ago. So very, very, you know, very fun, and you know, lots and lots of, you know, brilliant events and things that they have there. So this is the Paris collection again, and yeah, just want to just decide how I want to fold this. So oh dear, how do I want to fold this? Always a little bit tricky if you've got a directional paper, because you know, you have to factor in how it's going to look when it's folded down, which to be honest. Oh, this is not looking great in any way so far. So yeah, maybe it will look better like this. Okay, right, so I'm going to take it like this. Anyway, so they had at the weekend so I'm matching this up again at the top, what they call a members meeting. So I don't know really why they call it that. I mean, I guess it's for people who are members of Goodwood. So, you know, clearly I'm not a member. It's a lot of money to be a member of Goodwood, but you can get tickets for it. Although I'm not sure they're generally on sale for the public, if you see what I mean. But I think members can get tickets for, you know, their friends and things like that. So, you know, I've been lucky enough to be able to get tickets via people. So, yeah. Anyway, he was racing up there. So it's the whole weekend. And he was racing up there on Saturday. Saturday is, I think, what they call like the qualifier kind of thing. And then Sunday is the actual race day. So I was only supposed to be going on the Saturday. You know, obviously I didn't really need to go on both days. But anyway, I managed to get another ticket with my son, funnily enough. So from a lovely friend of ours at the gym. So all of us are all friends from the gym. So my friend with the race car, he goes to the gym and things. And this other chap, he goes to the gym. So yeah, we all kind of know each other from there. So he had offered my son, you know, his tickets. So we were able to go on both days. We didn't stay like all day, both days. But yeah, we were able to go both days, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So, right, just checking again, the directionality. I don't know whether that's such a word, but yeah, the directional kind of, element here. So like that. Okay. Yeah, so we were able to go both days, which was awesome. We didn't go for the whole day on the Sunday. So I went for the whole day on the Saturday with a friend. So not with my son. He didn't come. But I went with a friend of mine. And then my son and I and another friend from the gym went on the Sunday. But on the Sunday, we only went later to watch our friend who has got the racing car. So very, very, very exciting weekend. Yeah, really, really good fun. Saturday, the weather was okay. I mean, it wasn't really what I would call spring weather, but it was okay. The weather yesterday, not so great. So there was a sausage dog walk in the morning at the beach. And I've talked about these before. So we take lovely Bo, my sausage dog, we take her on the sausage walks. And funny enough, the friend that we were going to the race with, you know, the Goodwood members meeting, the other friend that we were going with, he also has got a sausage dog. So him and his wife came on the sausage dog walk. But she wasn't coming to the racing because she's not really kind of, you know, that's interested in the cars. But yeah, so we'd seen them obviously on the sausage walk, and then we went to, you know, to the race meeting, just with him. Well, we didn't go with him, but, you know, we met him in the car park and sort of went in together. Anyway, the race then we thought was starting at 4, didn't start until, well, I mean, I think gone 6 maybe even. Oh my goodness. It was freezing. Absolutely freezing. There was no spring at all going on at this point. So absolutely freezing, I have to say. Yeah, not good at all. We were literally frozen. So yeah, not good. And then we left there. I think we got home at about 7 o'clock. So we must have been there, you know, like 3 hours or something like that. Oh my goodness. I mean, I couldn't warm up for the whole rest of the night. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, anyway, absolutely freezing. Could not warm up for absolutely ages when I got back home. I mean, I think my son was pretty cold as well, but I don't think he was quite as cold as I was. But yeah, oh, it was very, very chilly. And I had on 3 jumpers, would you believe it? I mean, I do really, really, really feel the cold. But I had on 3 jumpers and a scarf and a jacket and my hat and my gloves. And I was still freezing. So, yeah, oh, bitterly cold. but yeah, anyway, that was brilliant fun. So yeah, we really, really enjoyed it. So that was our whole weekend, really, was taken up with that. And my daughter, as luck had it, was having a sleepover, and she had a sleepover on Friday night, and then she also had a sleepover on Saturday night, which originally hadn't been planned, but yeah, then she kind of ended up having a sleepover on Saturday night. So that was all brilliant, because it kind of meant that obviously, you know, was able to kind of go and not be worrying or anything like that. So yeah, very, 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 you know, very fun weekend. So that was kind of the highlight, really, of my week. And yeah, obviously, like I say, we also did the sausage dog walk yesterday, and that was super cute. Now, I have to say, one thing did happen on the sausage walk. So very fun, and it's at the beach, which I think I've, you know, talked about all this before. So the beach is, you know, I don't know, 8-9 miles or whatever from where we live. So not too far, and I think. But it's a very beautiful beach, and you know, a lot of beaches here in the UK, they are stony beaches, and you know, often not great, you know, because they're yeah, stony beaches and things. But we are very lucky where we live. We live near, you know, one of the loveliest beaches, really, here in the UK. So yeah, very, very lucky. Now, which way round shall I have this? I can't decide. Do I want to have the green on the inside of the envelope poking out, or do I want it the other way? Oh, I'm going to have it with the green on the inside, I think. So, right. So, yeah, anyway, we were on the sausage walk, and it's about a 45-minute walk, I suppose. We were walking around, kind of like you walk round down to the end and then round sort of, you know, round the other side of the beach, if you see what I mean. And when we were coming back, oh my goodness, it was so cute. There were hundreds, well, when I say hundreds, the one lady said to me that there were 30 old English sheepdogs. So old English sheepdogs, they're those really big fluffy dogs that would be obviously a complete nightmare to bath and things, you know. So I'm sure that, yeah, they must be very hard work when they come back from the beach, because they must have a lot of sand all caked into their hair. But anyway, and there were lots of them going past. So I said to one lady, I said, oh, is this an old English sheepdog walk? She said, yeah. I said, we're all here on the sausage walk, you know. I mean, how cool is that? So you had all these sausage dogs, and actually another friend of mine had said that there were 70 sausage dogs yesterday. So, I mean, that's a lot of sausage dogs, isn't it? 70. And this woman who I'd asked about the, you know, the old English sheepdog walk, she said that there was 30 old English sheepdogs. So, I mean, how weird is that? So there were 100 dogs of just 2 different breeds, which is so funny, you know, just, yeah, very, very fun. Right, clocks paper and the papers from the large birdhouses. So I think, oh, what do I think? I'm going to go for it like this, I think. So, oh, do I want to? Because that's got the bird on the flap. Hang on. Maybe like this. Okay, right. Anyway, so yeah, that was just so fun. I couldn't believe it. And as a child, an old English sheepdog, that was like my dream dog. And I always used to say, I'm just going to cut this off because the printer just missed the borderless printing. So I'm just going to go down there like that. I always used to say that I wanted to get, for Christmas as a child, I wanted to get a Yorkshire Terrier in a hat box. Yep, in a hat box. The hat box element came from, you know, in Gone with the Wind, where Rhett Butler buys, Scarlett O'Hara buys her the hat in the hat box. And I mean, oh my goodness, I just found Rhett Butler so handsome. I'm sure I'm repeating myself. I've probably talked about this before. So handsome. And so yeah, it became a kind of like fantasy of mine to have something in a hat box anyway. And then for some reason I had a thing that I wanted to get a Yorkshire Terrier, like, you know, one of those dogs, in a hat box for Christmas. I mean, goodness knows where I thought that the dog was going to be until opening the present. But anyway, so every year I would ask for a Yorkshire Terrier in a hat box, and of course I never got one. You know, but yeah. But alongside that, I always used to say that when I got older, when I grew up, you know, I was going to have, and we used to call them the Dulux dogs. So over here in the UK, and again, I don't know whether this paint brand is universal or just here, but we have a paint brand called Dulux. And I think it's still associated with Dulux paint, but not like it was when we were young. So when we were young, those old English sheepdogs, they were always in the Dulux adverts. So, you know, I always just called them the Dulux dog. So, yeah, I would always say, oh, when I get older, you know, when I grow up, I'm going to have a Dulux dog. Yeah, I mean, now, obviously, being a grown-up and having a sausage dog, I just think, oh, my goodness. Imagine the work a Dulux dog is, because they must take a lot of, you know, a lot of cleaning, a lot of grooming, a lot of bathing. I mean, I struggle just brushing my daughter's hair, you know. Imagine a whole huge, great big dog that's covered in sort of, you know, problematic hair. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the fantasy wouldn't really live, or the reality, sorry, wouldn't live up to the fantasy. But anyway, that was what I always used to say that I, you know, was going to have when I grew up. So, yeah, needless to say, I have adjusted my, you know, adjusted to reality now. But it was just so funny to see them, because generally, you know, you don't really very often see those old English sheepdogs, I think. So to suddenly see huge volume of them was like, oh my goodness, how exciting is this? You know, and it just was so funny because, like I say, talk about one extreme to the other. The sausage dogs are tiny, and obviously most of them are like short-haired, you know, and then they're just coming face to face the other side with completely the opposite end of the spectrum. So, you know, massive and super, super, super hairy, or furry or hairy, these Dulux dogs. So yeah, just very, very, very funny. So yeah, but I just thought, wow, how cool is that? So obviously there's, you know, there's dog breed walks for all varieties, you know. But yeah, so Bo had a lovely time. So yeah, she loves going on those sausage walks. I mean, sometimes she gets a little bit nervous, you know, and then she'll kind of like hover and kind of walk right, you know, right close to you. I think because she finds it a bit overwhelming. Excuse me. Because, of course, there's all the owners. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just had a terrible frog in my throat. So, yeah. Where was I? What was I saying? Oops, just checking I've got this the right way up. Okay, so I'll just cut my corners. Yeah, anyway, so very fun. There we go. So, still haven't seen the Amy Winehouse film. I'm sure that I did talk about that last week and said that we were going to hopefully see it. And I wondered whether we might have seen it at the weekend. We haven't seen it because obviously we were busy, you know, at the weekend. So, yeah, haven't seen that yet. But hopefully going to see it on Wednesday. And this morning at the gym, my friend, she had been to see it at the weekend. And she said they went to see it and thought it was brilliant. So, if you like Amy Winehouse, or, you know, if you've seen the trailer, or, you know, you're wondering what to watch anyway, she said it was very, very, very good. So we're really looking forward to seeing that. So we'll probably go on, yeah, Wednesday evening. So there we go. Okie dokie. So my daughter went back to school today. It was the first day back from the Easter holidays. So, yep, she's back to school. She was laying around this morning quite a bit, you know. Oh, I'm so tired. Well, of course she's tired because she's just had those couple of sleepovers. So, yeah, of course she is tired. But, you know what kids are like. They don't listen to you, do they? So, you know, I will remind her of this when she comes home today and suggest an early night. But, of course, she won't listen to me. She won't have an early night. So, but she really should. Really should. Okay. Right, I'm going to have to cut this down quite a lot because there was quite a bit overhanging. Okay, like that. And then this one. Okay. Right, I will probably only have time to do a couple more of these because I've lost track of how long I've been filming for, but I'm pretty confident it must be quite a while. So, yeah, I need to really crack on. So let me just do literally 1 or 2 more, and then we'll glue them together, and then we will decorate one. Okay. Oh my goodness, what a mess I've made of that. This is because suddenly in my head I'm like, oh, rushing. Oh, let's stop rushing and actually focus and concentrate. That would be better, wouldn't it? Better to get it right than rush and make a mess of it. So you can probably see I've got a much lower bit there. So I might just take that and just cut that down slightly more. Like that. Okay, and we'll just cut this around here like that. Oops. Okay. Ooh, like that. Oh, come on. Okay. And again, just go around here and just neaten this one up. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that looks quite nice, and we'll just do one more. Which one should I do? Oh, I might do the Paris collection one. So again, just go in and take my corners out. I mean, I just love the fact that you can then, you know, have envelopes in all these gorgeous papers, not kind of just have to be boring and have your white envelopes, or, you know, even if you coffee dye them, they're still quite boring, aren't they? Because they're not going to be all different paper types. So yeah, this is quite fun, I think. So there we go. Just check how they look. Not too bad, not too bad. Oops. Oh, what have I done here? Oh, not very good there. Let me just take this edge in because I've taken the other edge in quite a lot. And again, let's just take this down, round it across. Okay, like that. Okay, and then just take this one and just round that there. Okay, right. So I'm just going to glue these down and then we will decorate one. Because like I say, I've lost track completely of how long I've been filming for, but I'm pretty sure it's probably getting on now. So let's just take that down like that. Okay. Right, so there we go. Oh, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's placed an order recently. So either on my Etsy shop or my website. I really, really appreciate it. I did a very big restock on my website at the weekend, which of course I, you know, put a video up. I think it was on Sunday. Oops. Put a video up on Sunday. So yeah, thank you so much to anybody who placed an order then. I think there are some things still left on my website. Obviously the journal has gone. But yeah, there are some other things left. So, you know, do head over if you fancied having a look. But yeah, thank you so much to anybody who did place an order. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to anyone who placed an order, you know, on my Etsy shop as well. I really do appreciate that. I will try and get some more things into my shop on my website soon. Yeah, I mean, do let me know below, you know, what types of things that you would love, you know, to be able to buy on my website. You know, because obviously I like to try and put things in that I think people are going to enjoy shopping for and looking for. You know, there's no point me putting things in that people aren't really wanting. So of course I do get lots of messages and things with people saying, oh, have you got any more of these, or are you going to put these in, or oh, I just saw you make these, would you be able to put these into your shop, or something like that. And, you know, I'm not saying that I always can, you know, sometimes it's possible and sometimes it's not. But if it is possible, you know, we'll try and, you know, kind of like, you know, respond to what people have asked for as much as I possibly can. So, yeah, you know, do sort of say below things that you would like to see. You know, I don't know, if you think it would be great to be able to buy a bundle of, you know, these types of things, like ready-made envelopes, but not decorated or something, in a variety of papers. You know, you could buy like packs of 10, something like that. If you think that would be something that would be of interest, then, you know, share that. And then I will try and obviously, you know, I will try and incorporate that and put things like that in. You know, I don't know, but yeah, anything that you kind of think, oh, you know, we've made this in a mass make, or, you know, you've made this, I can't get hold of that. Or, for example, like this, you know, maybe like the papers, but, you know, you haven't got a printer or something. You know, or you just, you know, maybe making the envelopes wouldn't really be your thing, but you would like to have a bunch of ready-made envelopes in decorative papers that you could decorate. Then, you know, share that kind of, that you would like that type of thing in my shop. And as I say, you know, I'm not, you know, definitely saying, oh, I would definitely be able to put those in there. But definitely, obviously, I could factor that in as something that, you know, would possibly be of interest to people. So, yeah, it's always really great to hear feedback, really. So, yeah, do let me know. So, there we go. Right, so that is our base envelopes. Okay, that's our base envelopes. And yeah, let's decorate one up. So let's just quickly count up how many we have made. So I've got another two more to be you know, cut and glued. So that's those. But we have actually made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I don't think is too bad. And we've got the 2 more, you know, ready to do. So let's decorate one of these up. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to use to decorate these. I did bring some things along. Let's just check out what I've got here. I've got some bits from my Paris collection papers, so we might use something from there. I've got this sheet here with this gorgeous hot air balloon, which I absolutely love. I've also got these ladies. Let's just see what else I've got. Hang on. Yeah, I just bought a few things that I thought might be suitable to use. So, hold on. Got this one with the orangey hot air balloon. Or I've got this one with this photograph, which I love. So, well, it's not a photograph, is it? I don't know why I said that. But anyway, I'll just take that down. Now, this is printed on much thicker paper. This is photo quality, and it's, I think it's 230 GSM card or paper. So it's, you know, considerably thicker. Now, I'm just going to chop some of the edge of the photo off. Sorry if I keep calling it a photo. It's not a photo, but the picture anyway. Yeah, making it smaller there to be able to pop it on. And yeah, I'll just keep the other, you know, the rest of the sheet, because I might be able to use that on some other things. So let's see what we would put this on. Could use this on here. Oh, that would be pretty lovely, wouldn't it? Oh, this is going to be just one of those that's going to look great on everything. I mean, it pretty much does, doesn't it? And then I've got this, again, also from the same papers. So I'm just going to cut that down. Like that, and go down here. Okay, like that. Okie dokie, and right, let's see. Just check out. I've got these flowers. They're quite nice. I might be able to just take one of these and cut it out. Right, let's just take this down and just cut this out quickly. Right, so just cutting it off the page, which then, you know, just makes it a bit easier for cutting around it. So got a little bow here next to me. She's just curled up in bed. So yeah, if you can hear her, she's just groaning slightly. She likes to do that whenever I'm obviously disturbing her sleep a bit. Okay. Oh, I made a terrible job of cutting that flower out, but never mind. Right, okay, so which paper am I going to go with? I mean, I'm loving them all. Oh, I'm even loving it on that. That's from the Yellow Roses collection, and I've never in a million years have thought that that flower was going to look good on there, but it kind of does actually, doesn't it? Oh, that's a bit big from the back of that one, so that's a shame. Right, so I'm not going to use that. That's one eliminated. Okay. I mean, I quite like it on there. I don't know what this is going to look like on there. Not bad. I think it could be. I think it could be better. Again, that's probably a bit big. Just check this out. Oh, I don't know now. I mean, that's quite nice, to be honest. Might do that. Or I do really love this, but I don't know what that flower's going to go like. So let's just see. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. I mean, I don't know whether that's just blending in a little bit too much to that one. Because it's quite a busy background and it's quite a busy picture. Maybe it would be better on something plain. Or let's just do it on the green, shall we? Yeah, let's do it on the green. So just move these out the way. So I'm just going to take my distress ink. Just distress ink around the envelope first. So like I say, this is my damask papers, and I'm not sure whether it's the rich or the pale damask. So yeah, just go around that. Okay. Just go around here, a bit there on the inside. Okay. Right, just quickly ink up the flower and then just ink up the picture. Now, do I want to shrink that down at all? I mean, it is quite big. I don't mind it being that big. I'm just going to shrink it slightly. And when I say shrink it, I just literally mean slice some off. So we'll just take that off there. And then could come in that side. I like her in that dress, but oh well, let's get rid of her a bit. Okay, yeah, that's kind of better just because I've got them a bit more of that kind of showing. So again, we'll just ink this up. Honestly, I love decorating envelopes. They are so fun. Really, really fun to decorate envelopes. Right, okay, let's just see whether we might want to have a little Paris label somewhere. Okay, I have to be careful that I'm not just going across all the people. So I'll just take some of this lace down. There we go. And this one. Okay. Right, now, could do it something like this. It's quite nice, isn't it? Now, thinking, because I wanted to have this really on the other side, but now I'm thinking maybe it would look nice there. Do you know, I'm also thinking, let's stamp a little something in the background of this as well. So yeah, let's take, should we take a little corner stamp? Let's do a corner stamp. That one. Going to stamp it on, or in the black stays on. So yeah. Right, probably should really use a block for this, but never mind. Let's just go for this, right. Bit there. And then just, yeah, stamp this here. And should we do a little bit more? Yeah, Let's do it. Let's go for it. Right, that one. And then here. Like that. Okay. Okay, right, let's pop that away. And then we'll just going to get these stamps. So these are all available on my Shabbydabbydoodah website. And if they're not in there at the moment, then they, you know, they'll be back soon. So, but I'm pretty sure that I have got quite a few of these still in there. Oh, which way up does this go? Oh, it's very hard to see, isn't it? I think that's the right way. So I'm just going to stamp a little bit of this text in the background as well. So, and then let's have this one stamped here as well. A bit there, and we'll just have a little bit over here. And then here, like that. Ooh, gone a bit wonky with that. I'm sure I'm stamping this upside down now, which is really annoying. Oh well. Right, okay. So let's put that there, and yep, put that away. I'm trying to be a bit tidier. I mean, not that you'd know it. If you saw the state of my desk, you'd think, who is she kidding? She is not succeeding if that's her attempt at being tidier. Right, okay, let's take a bit of this. Okay, and so I have been sent a new cutting machine by oh, I don't want to say the company name in case I don't pronounce it right. So yeah, I'm not going to say the company name, but anyway, I have got to open that, so I haven't even opened it yet. It arrived about 10 days ago, I think. So yeah, I need to open that. I'm hoping I'm going to have time to open it in a, you know, today, in a moment after I finish this. And then I don't know whether I would do an actual unboxing video, only because the box is very big, so I'm not sure I would actually be able to fit it in. I'll have to see. But yeah, depending on how I do it, I then probably need to have a bit of a play around. Now, again, I don't know whether I'll try and play around with it and get to grips with it and then do a video, or whether I will just try and, you know, wing it. I'm not sure. But anyway, very exciting. So do keep your eyes peeled for that, because that will be coming up, and I'm sure will be, you know, really fun to watch. Well, I'm not saying it will be fun to watch me, but I'm sure it will be very fun to watch the machine. So yeah, definitely I will be having a play with that, and yeah, very excited to have a play with that. Here we go. I'm just going to cut around this. So yeah, should have really cut this flower small like I did the other one, because it's so much easier if you've not got so much paper flapping around, but never mind. So just before I glue that flower on, because I just want to see whether I could have another one, because I don't want to, you know, yeah, I'd like to have one on the other side really. So let's have that there. Now I'm just wondering, do I want to have the Paris here, or shall we have the Paris on the other side? Just going to hot glue this, only because it's over that lace, and I just don't want to have to keep on pressing it, you know, whilst I'm doing the video. So I just want to make sure it's glued down nicely. So there we go. And yeah, going right over that lady that I said, oh, I don't want to kind of cover her up. I'm now going right over her. So again, just going over this with the hot glue, only because I don't then have to keep on pressing it and worrying about it. It's just glued then. So that one, and then we'll turn it over and we'll just do, let's just see if we can have this little Paris label down here, which is the right way and the wrong way of this lace. It's so annoying, I can never really tell. Let's have it like that. Oops. Okay. There we go. And then just pop a little bit more lace down here. Like that. I mean, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? So, right, just need to be a bit careful that I don't end up putting too much glue on and you know, gluing the flap over too much, if you see what I mean. So I'm just putting it up here. So hopefully I haven't got it overhanging here too much like that. Okay. So, oh my goodness, how lovely does that look? And I've just got a little flower here. These were just floating around, but yeah, I think maybe something like this might look quite nice on. Let me just trim it off over my bin. Okay. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? So yeah, should we have that? Or, I mean, to be honest, we could probably have a couple of these actually. So let's put one up here like that. And then let's just get another one. Okay. Like that. Okay, yeah, pop that on there. And then do we need another one? I mean, I always think more is more. So I'm thinking one over on this side now, just to tie the front to the back. And yeah, I'm actually wondering whether we might be able to fit this. This might be too big, but let's just see. Probably, yeah, probably going to be a bit too big, but let me just have a look. Well, that's not bad actually. Unless I have it up the top. Could just have it like that, kind of, yeah, maybe just have it like that. So I'm just going to kind of attach it on, you know, on the edge over there, glue that down, and then just glue that, oops, glue that flower on. Oh gosh, I can't see again which is the right way and the wrong way for the flower. I think that way. It probably doesn't really matter, but yeah, just in between the two, bridging the gap there. And then, oh, should we have a bit of bling? Everything's always better with bling, isn't it? So can I find some? Okay, let's just take a bit of bling here. Okay. Oops. Now, do we want the bling on this side, which looks pretty gorgeous, or do we want it on this side? Love it on both actually, but I think let's have it on this side because this is kind of the more decorative side, isn't it? So yeah, let's pop that one down here like that. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so yummy? So yeah, and what we've done, obviously, we've adhered this on 3 sides. So it's a little top loading pocket, and then of course you've got the, you know, the envelope itself. So absolutely yummy, aren't they? So yeah, I really hope that you have fun if you made some of these. So this was your step-by-step tutorial of traditional envelopes for your junk journals, and yeah, we've made an abundance of them. So yeah, hope you have fun if you decide to make some, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment in the chat below, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Thanks then.